The VeChain cryptocurrency is making millionaires in 2021. Are you the next one? Let's get to it. As I've been telling you, I've been taking a deep dive into learning everything I can about the blockchain and cryptocurrency ecosystem. Why? This is like learning search engine optimization back in 1997 when only 2 people were doing it. There's little competition, and being that there is so much information, so much new jargon that you have to learn and be able to execute on in order to be successful in using these technologies to help establish, position, and enhance your financial security, then that's a high barrier of entry. There's little competition right now. It's brand spanking new. So ride with me. Listen, I'm just learning about all these things myself. However, I've made millions marketing businesses online. I've represented iconic brands. I worked with the 2012 Barack Obama presidential campaign, holding a historic chat with First Lady Michelle Obama, and Latina mothers made millions for organizations, countless enterprise class businesses, and businesses of all sizes. And a number of viewers have attested that they have made money applying for grants and performing activities that I've talked about on this channel. VeChain. It is a blockchain-enabled platform that its creators designed to improve supply chain management processes through tamper-proof and distributed ledger technologies. Now consumers and retailers are able to verify the authenticity and quality of the products that they buy, from spare parts replacements to the service history to product sourcing of materials, of raw materials. Every single piece of information of supply chain movements of products can be recorded in order to create a secure supply chain management ecosystem that is secure for all its participants. This will enable manufacturers to assign unique identities to each product. So just to give you an example, first, let me tell you what a blockchain is. Blockchain is made out of blocks. Blocks, just think of it as a spreadsheet, such as the spreadsheet to which I always link you in my videos that has a list of all the business resources. As a matter of fact, I just created a new spreadsheet. It's called Crypto, and I'm going to create a page for each cryptocurrency that I research for you, okay? All of these information resources that you could use to go ahead and research these companies and make the best decisions when investing and working with these technologies to secure and enhance your financial security in order for you to save and feed your family so you can save this country, save the planet, okay? Because listen, this thing is accepted, widely accepted right now. The Federal Reserve Chairman, he stated, just like gold right now. Understand? So there's all these things that you should understand. Anyway, going back to VeChain. First off, it's aiming to improve the supply chain. What's the supply chain, right? The supply chain is the process of taking a product from it being manufactured all the way to being held in inventory at the company that's selling it, all the way getting it out to the consumer, the person that buys it. Now, I was going to tell you what is a blockchain. A block, just think of it as a spreadsheet, right? Think of it as data, a place where data is being stored. And it has a certain amount of capacity, right? The information that is being entered into this block, okay, it passes through a algorithm, a hash algorithm, and then you get an output, which is a hash string that is used in order to track the transaction or the transfer of data, okay? And it's unique, it's immutable, you can't change it, okay? They've developed it in such a way that you can only change it through a democratic process. In other blockchains, in some blockchains, it can't be changed. Therefore, it remains, if it's authentic, that's the information that's there, whatever's there, it cannot be changed. If it gets changed, it uses another hash. Now, that hash, it connects one block from the next, because once one transaction is performed, so let's say you transferred money to your brother, to your sister, to your wife, then that constitutes one block, and then the hash output constitutes the chain that connects it to the next block, which is the next transaction or other transfer of data. So anything that has to do with the storage of information, the transfer of that information in an authentic way where it can't be changed, no one can mess with it, so it can't be tampered. That's why it's called tamper-proof technology. That's has to do with working with the blockchain. Now, I have a glossary right here, okay? And I am going to define as many terms as possible. Feel free to drop any terms that you need more information about in the comment section. I'll go ahead and fill that out in this spreadsheet that I've called crypto. So back to VeChain. So just like I was telling you, people are able to use VeChain powered applications to see all kinds of information on the products that they buy as retailers or as consumers, manufacturers, supply chain partners. They're able to see everything that happens with it, okay, through the VeChain platform. A platform, just think of it as a place on which you could build something else, right? So the foundation of a house, you got the foundation, that could be the VeChain platform, and then the house is whatever you build on top of that. So this company, VeChain, was founded in 2017, right? I want you to take a look at their website. And most specifically, this is the part of their white paper. All these cryptocurrencies have white papers that basically explains the functions and the utilities of the cryptocurrency that the organization is releasing. So I'm going straight to the use cases because basically these coins, they're almost like auctions. I'm trying to transform the Spanish word into the English word. Anyway, stocks. They're like holding a stock in a particular organization. So this VeChain, this organization, is one of the organizations that has a solid business case. I'm going to show you why. Take a look. So this is one of the problems, anti-counterfeiting, that they talk about, or actually they write about in their white paper. VeChain solution allows brands to digitize products on the blockchain by establishing the linkage between the physical product and unique blockchain identity using smart NFC tags. If you don't know what NFC tags, you can go refer back to my spreadsheet and just go ahead and find this out. I think it was Robert Kiyosaki that said that the only thing that separates poor people from rich people are the words. That's it. That's the words. You just simply have to know the words. Talk the language of money and you'll understand how to get it. So what's an NFC tag? The idea that you could pay for your groceries or a tank of fuel just by tapping one small electronic device to another would have seemed like science fiction not too long ago. Now the technology is commonplace. It is a near-field communication technology and the smart tags that work with NFC. Its parent is the radio frequency identification tag. So just to break this down a little further for you, okay? Something such as an NFC tag or an IFID tag can be attached to the packaging of a particular product and you'll see all the information about the product. Now, I'm going to tell you why that's useful. So, for instance, for counterfeiting. So this authenticates that this product came from the supplier. It's not one of those bags that you buy in Chinatown. And no disrespect to people who live in Chinatown, this just happens where you've got fake bags or whatever and they're not real. Anyway, each product has its own landing page created by the brand with the product description, marketing, and traceability information, which is a powerful tool for authentication, traceability, storytelling, and digital marketing processes. In addition, the ownership of the product on the blockchain is tied to the user's account and can be transferred on the B2C, C2C markets. VeChain toolchain. So this is blockchain as a service. When you use, for instance, any type of software, like for instance, you use Salesforce and you're a salesperson. Salesforce is a customer relationship management software package. You pay, I think, like $20 per user, or say it may cost more. I haven't used that thing in years. Anyway, so you basically pay this organization to be able to use this application on a monthly basis. That's software as a service. This is blockchain as a service. So they're making it easy for organizations to use the blockchain in order to allow customers to verify the authenticity of a product that they buy. So it comes with a unique hash, perhaps, right? A unique identity to the platform, VeChain, and then customers will say, okay, look, this is authentic. It's like back in the day in New York, people who are from New York know this. He probably did this everywhere else. No one else had the internet, so the one thing that people used to say, oh, you got a polo? Like, let me look at the tag. You look at the tag, and you go, okay, no, that horse is too big. You know, like we used to buy polos out in Jamaica Ave, and they were counterfeit, they were bootleg, right? So this gives you a way for you to authenticate, for you to say, okay, listen, this actually came from the supplier. because this has the tag that's coming from the supplier. And there's all this information that's attached to it. The information includes where was it manufactured, where was it released, what kind of truck perhaps transported it, when did it arrive at the cargo area in the Brooklyn Navy Yard or whatever they drop off containers, and when did it go to Marshall's whenever you bought, or when did it go to a place where you bought it, and then when did the part of the inventory that did not sell go to Marshall's because they didn't sell, or it was irregular, or whatever the case may be. All that information would be supplied in the block, right? In the block that has all the information on that particular product. So you can verify the authenticity. Listen, this is a real Polo, or this is a real whatever it is that you're buying. These are real Nikes, whatever the case may be. And you can also go ahead and use that VeChain powered application to perhaps scan a barcode that's on the packaging of that product, or perhaps on the tongue of the sneaker. Let's say it's a Nike product, and it'll show you the manufacturing process, all these things, the whole story of the product that enhances the way that these companies actually market the product. And then you could potentially also start to document your experience with the product. Listen, the sole ripped off after a month's use. This thing is garbage. And it's still authentic. What the hell is the problem with this? And that information could go directly back to the manufacturer. They could use that to go ahead and verify that you indeed own a defective product and return you. So it facilitates the entire process. It's futuristic. I mean, it's here. They haven't built all of this, but the case studies are incredible. So this is what this organization is doing. This is how you have to study organizations in which you plan to invest. When you do it for the stock market, you do the same thing. You find out what the company is about. So this is what that company is about. And this is one of the coins that is backed by a solid business use case, as far as I can see. Take a look. So in 2016, an LVMH portfolio luxury mason started to use VeChain's blockchain solution for a limited edition collection and has since integrated VeChain Toolchain. Toolchain is the blockchain as a service product or that VeChain offers for all other products. Since FW 2017 collection intends to expand into ready-to-wear and shoes. Digital vehicle passport. According to European Parliament, odometer tampering has seen the mileage roll back on up to 50% of secondhand cars traded in the EU. This happens in New York all the time. They roll back the odometer so they could sell a car for higher than it's worth, all right? Fronting like the car has less mileage than it really has, when it has like 300,000 already on the odometer. It's already gone around several times. Anyway, VeChain's digital vehicle passport solution began with addressing odometer fraud by storing and securing critical data on the VeChain Thor blockchain across entire life cycle of automobiles. So check it out. Look at the organization that's actually using this application in order to prevent vehicle fraud. And they've named it. This is BMW. So this is a client of VeChain, and they're using this application. They're using this platform in order to build a block-based solution called Verify Car, offer a cure for this problem. It has all kinds of vehicle history attached to the blockchain, right? Where people can track, verify the complete vehicle history, share data like the mileage with third parties. It could even be used in conversation with the sellers. A potential buyer, I could use the Verify Car app on my phone to scan the QR code in the seller's app. It has a business use case. This is a business. So you're able to actually see exactly what's the vehicle history without any tampering whatsoever. Because remember, once it passes through this hashing algorithm, through the blockchain, it's immutable. You can't touch it. That's it. If the mileage reads, last time it was at 40,000, and now for some reason the vehicle mileage is at 5,000, you're like, hold on, this thing just recorded that it was last at 40 grand or 140 grand, and now it's at 5 grand. Makes no sense. And this stuff is authentic. This information is authentic. That's just one of the use cases, right? And they do other things. They also do it to track the sustainability and ensuring that the raw materials, they're being mined correctly and there's not exploitation and all kinds of evils that are being performed on people just to have people mine the products and all this other stuff. Look, take a look. What is Verify Car? Mileage fraud is a widespread problem. BMW's Albe explained that in Germany, every third used car is manipulated odometer. The average impact is $3,000 in the price of a vehicle, and the total annual damage is 6 billion pounds. The aim of the verified car app is for the car owner to be able to prove that he's done with the car in a verified way. Each interaction with the car is stored as a hash on the blockchain, right? Everything from changing a filter, replacing a battery, and then annual service. Insurance claims would be included as well, so it could save you money, all right? Because automatically that information could be sent to insurance companies and say, listen, you don't use the car that much, or you've gone X amount of years without an accident. You know, we can go ahead and drop your insurance rate. Annual service, insurance claims can be included. BMW cars also have SIM cards, and they periodically will send data to the blockchain. So the information sources are both in-vehicle data and external. And that's not the only use case. How many times well, at least this happens to me all the time. You buy fish that smells too much like fish when you cook it because it's old, right? Or perhaps there was some type of mismanagement or the way that they handled it throughout the supply chain, all right? So for instance, let's say fish can't be stored for over an hour's time in 90-degree temperatures, anything over that. And you could take your phone with the VeChain powered application that you could potentially use with Walmart if you're shopping from Walmart China. I've got the article right here. This is crazy right here, right? They're using it across 100 product lines. So basically you could take your application on your phone, scan the QR code, and it could tell you this piece of fish was exposed to 95-degree temperatures for like an hour and a half. And you know that if it's been exposed for over an hour and a half, this thing is bound to spoil. So you know what? I'm not buying that fish. You save money. Or perhaps they knock down the price because they know that it's been exposed to over 90-degree temperatures. And there's a high likelihood that fish is no good. And it could hurt somebody, or they may just take it out of the market completely. And they're not going to sell it to anybody. So it helps people, it helps consumers, it helps retailers, organizations ensure that their operations are all sustainable. And look, they're doing it with Walmart China, with Sam's Club out there. These are huge partnerships. That's why this thing went bonkers. Take a look. Take a look at how undervalued this thing is. It's at 9 cents. How many organizations on the stock market do you see making these kinds of moves? And the stocks are well more than, 9 cents. 9 cents. This thing has a crazy amount of room to grow. The market capitalization, that's the amount of money that all of the coins are worth. It's 56 billion. If this thing goes up 10 times, it'll be worth $56 billion. Take a look over here at CoinGecko. By the way, I have links to all under the data tab right here. And I'm just starting this spreadsheet off, okay? As we drop more videos on these organizations that are releasing these coins and these potential investments on which you can make a lot of money, I'm gonna show you right now. I'll go ahead and continue to populate more resources for data, for more coins. See, this is all for VeChain right here. This is for data. So CoinGecko has cryptocurrency prices, charts, and market capitalizations, right? So, bing. This is the ranking of all the coins. Of course, top dog is Bitcoin at number 1 with a market capitalization of $1 trillion. So if this thing were to go up just 10 times, and I think it has a lot of, 9 cents? 9 cents? Do you see partnerships on a regular basis where companies that are on the stock market that are worth, 10 times that amount, $10, $100, are they making these types of partnerships on a regular basis? You don't see that, okay? Look, Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is worth $1 trillion. This thing will be $66 billion. So it'll put it right up there like at the number 3 spot. But also, all these altcoins, they go up together, right? So if one goes up, they all go up. And especially right now, with all the US dollars that the government is printing right now in order to get out stimulus checks, PPP, EIDLs and such, this stuff keeps going up because there are only a certain amount of coins that are released for the ones that are most successful. They keep a limited amount. So it's like only 21 million Bitcoin? There's no more being printed. That's what retains their value, okay? Because there's a limited supply. So it'll go up by 66 to about 66 billion, okay? And look at where it's gone up so far. Look, take a look. So 9 cents, this thing is crazy. You go down to CoinGecko, you click max. This will give you the entire chart. Look, this thing was worth 0.005 cents. So half a cent back in March of 2019. Just in December, it was worth a penny. Okay, it's gone up 10x since, right? You would have bought it in December, you would have put $1,000 toward this thing, you would have had $10,000. $100, you would have $1,000. Listen, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is what I'm doing, okay? I give you all the resources so you can make your own informed decisions, perform your own research. I'll go ahead and do a lot of the legwork for you because I'm breathing and sleeping this thing right now, man. Everybody's recognized it. It's mainstream now, but it's still in its very early stages. This is the CEO of VeChain. He founded this thing, okay? So there's another thing you want to take a look at. Who controls the company? Who manages the organization? Are they competent managers? Sonny Lu. He was proficient enough to climb up the corporate ladder. Now, he didn't do it in one organization, so perhaps he didn't play a lot of politics, right? But it doesn't matter. Look, he still made it. Look, he started his education. He was in Taizing Middle School, 1995, 1998, Shanghai Jiao Tong University, got a Bachelor in Electronics, Communication Engineering. Then he was a manager at Netstar. That was, I guess, his first real job. 3M China, infrastructure manager. Then he became an IT manager at Bacardi China. So perhaps the best way for him to grow, well, he was a manager around the same level for these three organizations. But then after seeing that he can grow a lot quicker in another organization, look, they put him as a CTO in Louis Vuitton China. That's a big jump. So he must have done some pretty good work in Bacardi. You know, that's a globally recognized brand. Also, 3M China is a globally recognized brand. So working with these organizations, producing some results for them, gave him the portfolio where he could work as CTO at the C level, then CIO again at the C level for Louis Vuitton. Then I have a story on him right here that goes in depth on everything that he's gone through ever since his youth and stuff. Where is it? Command wire. So you go to what is supply chain CEO, understanding VeChain CEO, Sonny Lu. And by the way, you could reach this crypto spreadsheet by visiting. As a matter of fact, I have not even created the link as yet, but I'll go ahead and drop the link to it in the top comment section below and the video description right below this video. Understanding VeChain CEO, Sonny Lu. Go ahead and read through this stuff. This interview reads that when he was working as CIO of Louis Vuitton, as well as the IT director of Bacardi, the key moment where I think he decided to leave Louis Vuitton was when he proposed to have Louis Vuitton accept Bitcoin once he found out. So what he found was the technology. This includes elements of finance. So he loved Bitcoin once he learned about it. He was deeply attracted to technology, admitted that he had always wanted to do something to struggle with, and felt that his 10 years... Okay, so I can't find the exact place where he said it. Anyway, he proposed that Louis Vuitton start to accept Bitcoin. They said no. Then he opened his own shop. That, as you can see in his LinkedIn profile, VeChain, co-founder with incredible partnerships, Walmart, BMW. They've got wineries that they're helping. Again, when a business has a solid use case and is alleviating a widespread pain in the market, you know that 9 cents, it has a lot of room to grow. And it's one of the few companies that I find that have a solid business case. Everything else focuses on a similar form of financial service, yield farming, etc., stake in our coin for X amount of rewards. He's worked with these global iconic brands, globally acclaimed iconic brands, Bacardi China, 3M, Louis Vuitton. I'm sure he made a number of contacts, which is probably the way that he was able to secure such prominent partnerships with organizations such as BMW and Walmart. And look, Bayer, they're using them in order to keep their data secure. Look, in the medical supply chain, just take a look at this diagram. Look, all the information that comes from pharmaceutical research, development of clinical trials, all the results that they produce to the manufacturing plant, to the warehouse, transportation, how it's being transported, the verification of expiration dates, for instance, transportation, the warehouse out, how it's going to healthcare providers, ensuring that this is indeed the lot that expires on such and such date, or if a lot is recalled, for instance, ensuring the safety of consumers, of patients, from retailers to patient. All of that is secured through the use of the blockchain through the VeChain platform. Look at this. VeChain and Idante Co. developed EHCert, a blockchain-based virus records app for the citizens of Cyprus. With the pandemic putting healthcare systems under strain worldwide, electronic health record systems are also shifting requirements for data security and sharing. As the leading public blockchain platform, VeChain furthers the collaboration with Idante to co-develop EHCert app, which provides an archival solution for RT-PCR real-time polymerase chain reaction antibodies test. So, the transfer of information. Anything that has to do with the storage, transfer, retaining of information, authentication of that information, the blockchain is good for that, okay? And they're taking their platform and they're lowering the barrier of entry for organizations to be able to leverage this blockchain and be able to make their information transfer and their information documentation processes more authentic, verifiable, etc. Solid use case. And they're working with some of the most iconic brands on the planet. So this thing has a solid use case. And I believe that it is one of the cryptocurrencies that probably has the biggest potential. Of course, Bitcoin, Ethereum, but this thing, it's got a lot of room to grow. Like I told you, how many mainstream organizations that are publicly traded, do they have these types of developments and these types of partnerships that you see them on a regular basis? They're talking about, they're doing all of this stuff that has to do with the future, tagging products so consumers are able to see, listen, this product is good enough for me to consume, for me to eat. It's not going to get me sick. It's not going to send me to the hospital. It's not going to send me to the toilet. Okay? And again, go ahead and visit everything, all of these resources that I've referred to on the spreadsheet that's labeled crypto. I will include a link to it in the description of this video below. And another organization called Ubiquity has teamed up with VeChain to implement VeChain toolchain for the US and global title industry. So, in order to perform title searches to facilitate the process of purchasing a home, you got to go through title searches, all that information has to be authenticated, has to be verified. So you can determine whether you are actually buying the home from the owner. You're actually not transferring it to someone that does not own the home, right? And that you verify your own ownership once the title is transferred to you. So they're using the blockchain in order to authenticate that entire process with this organization called Ubiquity. I got the link again under the VeChain tab and other resources. And another thing, there's a new NFT. You know what NFTs are? If you don't, it's a non-fungible token. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and define that for you and include it in the sheet labeled gloss, short for glossary. What is a non-fungible token? Bang. Let's go ahead and define it for you right here. Non-fungible tokens or NFTs are cryptographic assets on blockchain with unique identification codes and metadata that distinguish them from each other. Unlike cryptocurrencies, they cannot be traded or exchanged at equivalency. This differs from fungible tokens like cryptocurrencies. Okay, you can read more about that there. And I'll just include it in the sheet entitled gloss. Anyway, VeChain has partnered with a non-fungible token, aka NFT marketplace called VimMarket and VimWorld, and you can win a share of 10 million VTHO tokens. So as long as you participate in this VimMarket in the dashboard, if you list a non-fungible token for sale, it could be as easy as drawing something and putting it up, I believe. I don't know the entire process. I'll get into the entire process. And as long as you list a Vim, buy a Vim, auctions. Now, this will require some sort of investment. But they're writing that they are indeed going to distribute VTHO, which is a token in the VeChain blockchain that is worth real money to people who list Vims, buy Vims, auctions, live bidding, use the buy it now feature, monitor auctions in dashboard. So if you perform any of these activities that this organization has listed in this Medium article, then you will get an airdrop of VTHO. I guess they'll split it among all the people that participate. This thing is brand new. This is one of the easiest ways for you to get airdrops is when you participate with a platform upon its launch. They just launched on March 9th. So during the first month, as long as you participate performing any of these listed activities, you'll get an airdrop. In other words, a grant. And you can find this spreadsheet by surfing to bit.ly/cryp, CRYP squad. That's C as in Charlie, R as in Romeo, Y as in Yankee, P as in Papa, S as in Sierra, Q as in Quebec, U as in Utah, A as in Alpha, D as in Delta.